Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends. We've got this beautiful day here in Trading Land. It's NFP Day, Friday, November 3rd, 2023. My name's Darren Hancock. I'm your host today of the Breakfast Club this morning. Thanks for popping in. And as usual, I want to just make sure that everything's fired up and running here on the channel. And we shall see if we are live. Yes, we are. Sure that everything's fired up and running. Here we go. Yeah, we're good. We're up and running. All right. Skype's on. The Breakfast Club is up and running. All right, so let's have a look at the markets that we've been talking about here. Starting with British pound. We got that beautiful run up. Yesterday we finished right at that daily fair value gap. We went to the top of it, came back off of it, and we'll dig down in here a little bit and find out what it was they actually keyed off of here. It looks like it keyed off the breaker here, right off that last up close candle before the run below these lows here. We right off the midpoint threshold. We wanted to get above that, get into this daily fair value gap, and then start running up again, which it did. It got above, it got into the threshold and actually ran right through the consequent encroachment of the SIBI, or this inversion fair value gap it is now. Blew through the top. We're already through the rejection block and heading up for higher highs, equal balance here. We have this breaker here, last down close candle before they run above these highs. So that's we're getting back into that. So look for the midpoint of that, which is also the price imbalance just above price here. It should just fill, yeah, the midpoint of that candle is just above there. So look for a continuation on the upside, a run. We have a nice October low swing for seasonal tendencies. They're looking good right now. So now we've broken this market structure to the upside. I want to see this actually come down, find support here. Like end the week up high, and then Monday create Tuesday's low, leave that open, and then start running for higher prices. Euro daily. Look at this. We keyed right off. Let me zoom in on this a little bit here. There's that little tiny fair value gap you got there. Look what we keyed off of there. I want to make sure I'm not just giving you any old line there. Come on. There you go. So if you look here, we keyed right, we went through it, pulled back, came back right to it, tagged it, and then that's that thing we're talking about, that step. That's the step up you want to see, and then the drive. And we had a beautiful step on this morning or today, and then the drive right back up. So we're through that inversion fair value gap on the daily again. So we'll look for this guy here to continue to come back down, find some support at that. I want to see that kind of stay open now that we've run the highs. So Euro's run its highs. Pound hasn't run the highs yet from back on the 24th October. 24 October. What's this one here? This is October 10th. So Euro, October 10th. Oh, it ran those highs back on the 24th. Okay, so we're slowly climbing around the lows. Yeah, okay, so I want to see this kind of key off of here now. Create that step. We have that new week opening gap. We find support on top of that. I'd like that too. Stay above this. I want to see the body of the candles close above this high here. Canadian dollar's getting stronger finally. What are we looking for? We have a mitigation block here. Last up close candle that doesn't break an old low here. But this breaker, if we draw this breaker out here, we'll see if that breaker holds price. If it doesn't, and we get through it, and we start clearing out this phantom trend line here, we'll blow right through that, aiming for these lows in this daily fair value gaps below the market there. So I want to see this breaker give up price, get on the downside of that. We're coming back into this here. We've already finished off the, we came down to filling that fair value gap on the daily, pulled back, then ran right through it today. So if we lose the midpoint of this breaker here, then we're looking for a run on these equal lows, and then a drop down into looking at this wick, equal lows below the market here and here. Aussie dollar did just what we're looking for yesterday. We wanted to see this breaker either hold price or blow right through it. So we opened, we ran through the mean threshold of that candle, and did it break that low there? No. So we broke the mean threshold of that candle, and then opened, we closed right on the high, opened on the high, dipped back down to the order block, and then ran for old highs. So we've already ran the high out for the 29th of September. So we got these highs here. So I like this. Now it's turning bullish. We have breaking market structure several times. So again, I'd like to see a fair value gap form in here. Then Tuesday, Monday, or at least Tuesday, Monday a small candle, Tuesday makes the next candle, come back to this old high here, or this parent breaker of this big swing down, and yeah, just return to that high. You can allow it to come down here. We want to see this stay open now. I want to see that stay open and then continue running these old highs here. Perhaps get through this breaker down here. Yeah, New Zealand dollar, tried to get in on this last night. I was looking for price to return back into here. I had a buy order right off of here. I wanted it to come back. As soon as we ran this here, I thought, oh, I looked at it right here when there's a fair value gap had formed. I was like, oh, if we get onto this one. Oh no, that's not right. Sorry, not that one. It was before. It was in here. I wanted to see it come back to here, and it hadn't quite come back and tagged it, so I didn't get in. And it was a beautiful run up. What do we got here on the daily? New Zealand dollar coming back into that fair value gap on the daily here. Let me take this guy here. I can shuffle that guy over there now. So we're through the midpoint of that fair value gap daily on the New Zealand dollar. Looking for fill of that. We're back into the breaker here. We just clip the bottom of it. It might be on the bottom. Let me just see what the low is on that. low is 59,853. 59,833. So we're 2 pips away from that. So we'll see if we get a reaction off of here, or do we come up to the threshold. Again, I want to see this one get on top of here. We may even bang around in there for a little bit, get some strength off this breaker for a bit, get some support, come back to this weekly fair value. Is that weekly? Monthly. No, what is that? Monthly? Oh, it's the weekly, sorry. Weekly fair value, yeah. So we can come back in here, find some support, leave that open, and go for a run above. Let's start driving through this, run for these relative equal highs here. I'd like to see that with the New Zealand dollar coming up. Oil. Oil came back inside that fair value gap there, found some support at it, went right to the very top of that old high. What have they got marked? Oh yeah, the equal highs here. I don't even know why that one's sitting there. Let's look at the weekly here. Look at it on gray. Yeah, equal highs. I can take that off of there so it doesn't confuse us too much. So now we got drawn liquidity. It's on the downside. We got the weekly fair value gap here. We got the monthly fair value gap down there. So the drawn liquidity is back into this. Now that we got this last down close candle before running above these highs. So we have, if you added those two together, that would be a 2-month breaker right there. We're coming into the top of it now. We're also coming into multiple new week opening gaps. Got a big new week opening gap here. So we'll start to pierce down, take out these old lows, and run for some of this liquidity down here again. Yeah, this could be a big run down now. Gas. Well, gas is working exactly the way we wanted it to. Again, I'll review. I originally wanted it to stop here, but I allowed it to come back to the top of this weekly fair value gap, and then potentially the old highs. I didn't want it to touch the old highs. I wanted that just to stay open above that weekly. Now I want to see this continue pushing up. So we found support inside this weekly fair value gap, inside the order block, threshold. We got above it, came back into it. Now we're trying to push up into the weekly fair value gap on the upside. So I want to see price start to really get some legs over the next few weeks. So we came back, you can see here, yesterday we came back, hit the break, the new week opening gap. Sorry, the weekly fair value gap high, so that's the inversion. And we got some nice reaction off of that. Let's run these highs out today. But, you know, you could look at this as, so we've got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So we've got this range here. If we pull back into 30% of that range, which is probably 30%, brings us right back into here. So unless we extend the range up today, we may just get a small candle today, but it's non-farm payroll, so this could do some craziness. So typical non-farm payroll. We're just going to watch today. Just observe. It's an observation sport today. NFP, not for professionals. So there's a lot of people trade it still, though. And after non-farm payroll, afternoon sessions can settle down, and we start to get symmetrical price action again, and you can start getting a couple of little light trades in the afternoon. All right, so looking at the 500, the S&P, we got our nice little seasonal low so far. I like seeing this break in market structure yesterday to the upside. We wanted to see it get through this daily fair value gap, and it did. It found support on top of the new week opening gap perfectly today and started continuing on the upside. So we lose this candle and this candle's midpoint. I still think it's coming to the top of the monthly fair value gap. So now that becomes, now that we've worked all the way through it, we're going to come back, find some support at it, create an inversion here to get above these, and then start running for higher prices if that's our objective. Some people seem to think that this is still not bullish. The markets are not bullish. Just have a little break in structure to the upside. So we're more than 50% of this range. Of the large range from here, let's pull the whole range. We're just coming into 50%, which puts us back into this breaker here. Sorry, no mitigation there. Does not break any low. This one here is the breaker. So if we come back into here, the midpoint, which is 50% of that whole range right there. So if we get a reaction off of this and pull back in to 50% of the, or 30% of the range on the weekly, look for, see if price is held here. If not, I do like to see that get right back to the monthly, and I want to see that get on top of that and start running up on prices. Usually we'll get a run in November and then another pullback that shouldn't take out the October low, and then we get the final push up through the rest of the year as a seasonal tendency. Now that's not a catch-all phrase, but so far if you look at the seasonal tendency for the markets, there always seems to be a low in October, and we've had our low. And we have a slight break in market structure to the upside, so I'm kind of liking that. Okay, sorry, I'm just doing a little text message here. All right, so I had to throw a little quick text out to my buddy. So yeah, I want to see this now provide some support on top of here, which is the weekly fair value gap. Becomes inversion. We find support in here and continue pushing through. If we hit the 50%, come back and close off the week. I want to see it close above that weekly fair value gap there. It's okay if it doesn't. It's allowed, for me, it's allowed to come all the way back into this range here. We can even come back to the top of this breaker. It's like a 3-day breaker. Candles that run above these old highs. So yeah, I like to see that. We're still looking for upside. Still upside for tech. Is already reaching its new-week opening gap. On the upside, there's a daily fair value gap here. It's broken a swing point as well. Breaking market structure. With tech, we have an interesting, we were looking for this fair value gap to either hold price yesterday, or we wanted to see it get through it and then get on top of it and start driving back up. But if you look here, it got through it, but it gapped down and opened up right on top of that high. Let me make this a little bigger. There's the high right there. Sorry, right there. And look where this opens up. Right on top of that. So we opened on the high, and then we continued pushing up. We're through that little imbalance there. We're through the monthly high there. So if we look at that fair value gap on the monthly compared to tech's, hasn't broken its monthly fair value gap high yet. Sorry, S&P's 500 hasn't broken. Tech has to the upside. So that's the stronger one of the pair. Dow Jones doesn't even have a monthly fair value. Well, it's been on top of a monthly fair value, but there isn't anything in here for monthly. So Dow Jones has been on top of its monthly, but not in the same area. There's the weekly right above it. So Dow Jones has the upside to reach for. If I go to the weekly here, you'll see that one. That's the weekly right there, from there to there. And there's a daily inside there as well. Here's the daily. Right there. Equal highs. So we're looking for Dow Jones to continue running up above the equal highs. Look for the potential for it to run up and just tag the bottom of the daily just inside the weekly and create triple highs, and then potentially come back down into 25 to 30% of the range, and then push through next week. Like, we may just hover below these equal lows and then drive through next week. But if this is a good hard-fought day, we may just see this run out these equal highs and get back into that fair value gap and the weekly fair value gap on the upside. So kind of keep that in mind. And my buddy Marcus, if you're listening, Canadian dollar against Japanese yen. You want to buy that car of yours? It's going to get a little more expensive. No, actually, Canadian dollar versus Japanese yen. So your Canadian dollar is getting stronger, Japanese yen's getting weaker. So actually, this is good for you. So you're going to get more bang for your buck. Yeah, you'll get more bang for your buck. So now we've ran back through this fair value gap, creating an inversion. We opened on it. Closed on it, opened on it, and now we're starting to run back up. So look for a run above these old highs here now. And back into that little breaker up top there. If you lose the midpoint of that, then you got higher prices. Our friend gold, what's gold up to? Here's our breaker of that whole rundown, parent breaker. Draw that all the way out. We found support at it until we ran through it, come back into the midpoint of it nicely, right on the money. See, there's the midpoint, that dot. We hit right on the midpoint. Now reacted off, got our wicks above it, body got above it here, came back, tagged it, and now we're above. So we want to see this weekly and daily fair value gaps provide a level of support now, get above these relative equal highs, and start driving for this higher prices up here. So what equal highs here, See that 2000 stay broken for sure to the upside and get some strength on that. EuroCAD, not too worried about EuroCAD. Came right back into the breaker body here. Ran that whole range out, come back into the edge of it. Now we're reacting off of it. So look for this to fill and then run down into the next part. See if that stays open there. Keep your eye on that order block and that fair value gap there. This is an inversion fair value gap here now. See if that holds price, and then you continue to the upside.
Good morning, Darren.
Good morning. How you doing?
1 second, I'm on the phone.
So we just hit the 50% of our S&P 500, of that main range from July's high to October's low. We've come back to 50% of that range already. So are we going to push through this, get some support on it? I still like that upside. So let's look at the hourly, see what's going on there.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Getting my car fixed.
Yes.
Do I spend $64 and pick up the part at AutoZone and get it fixed today? Or do I spend $25 and just wait 5 days for it to get shipped?
Yes.
And save $40. It's no rush either.
There you go. Save the money.
I'm driving down to Florida for Thanksgiving, so I'm just making sure the Jeep is all up to par.
Is that a long drive for you?
You said what?
Is that a long drive for you?
Mm-hmm. 16 hours.
Oh, yeah. That's like driving back to my parents back in Manitoba.
Yeah, actually, it's 16 hours to Miami from Virginia, where I'm at. So we're visiting my wife's brother, which is North Florida.
Right.
So it's actually going to be like 10 hours.
Oh, okay.
You know how long it takes to drive from the bottom of Florida to the top of Florida?
No idea.
8 hours.
8 hours, yeah. Yeah, it's a 16, 17-hour trip for us to get back to my parents' place in Manitoba. You can drive through Saskatchewan. You can just close your eyes and just set your car on straight and just drive straight through Saskatchewan. It's like mind-numbing straight. And then you get back into Manitoba and you feel a little pothole. You go, yes, I'm back in Manitoba, where they don't take care of the roads. You start getting all the pothole reminders. I must have just broke the border of Manitoba. It shakes you awake. Yeah, it's a long drive.
It's just all flat?
It's flat. Manitoba's flat. That's why out here in Alberta it's nice. We were out in the mountains yesterday. We went to some nice waterfalls. They got Elbow Falls up here, right near Bragg Creek. It's a beautiful little place. Lots of trees, pine trees, mountains all around us. So it was gorgeous there. And all the snow looked lovely. My brother was flying his drone out there and
nice.
Catching the waterfall, flying into. Then I took him to this place. It's called Beaver Lodge, and there's like 9 beaver lodges that keep going up and up and up and up. So it kind of like they build this whole area, and then they build another lodge just above it, and then it floods behind it, and so it looks like this elevated floodplains going up and up and up on the river, and then you meet the Grand Lodge at the top, which is like all the major Grandmaster beavers must have got together to build that sucker. 'Cause it was huge, yeah.
Wow.
So he's flying his drone all through the trees and up the river, up the creek there, and it looked and with the snow, it was beautiful. It was a great night, a great day out there.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it looks like we're getting. My father-in-law just loves the fact that the markets have turned. He's like, "This is great. You're right. October low. There was an October low." It's like, yeah. Well, if that's a seasonal tendency that holds, then he goes, "Great. Now I need you to get me back $1,000 a day for the next 5 months." I'm like, "You're asking for miracles, man." So, yeah, I'm still looking for this on 500. I'm still looking for that monthly fair value gap to fill. Come back into that. That's what we're looking at there. That whole range, 50% of that whole range was, we're just hitting 50% of this whole range here right now. And there's the monthly fair value gap that if we get on top of that, that creates the support, hopefully creates the support for us to get through this mitigation block on the monthly to start running up these equal highs, relative equal highs, and back into that breaker at the top there, right? So that's what I'm looking at there. Look at that, just a straight rocket up this week. Right back into yeah, that lines up here. We have to take out these two equal highs for this to get really bullish again. It's nice that we got a nice big up close candle, but we could still get we're still kind of bearish overall. So on the weekly, I want to see that break these highs, get on top of that to start really going back to a bullish stance again. From here to here. We hit 62% of the range. Yeah, we're pushing for that high now. Equal highs up here. Now, how do you get it on this? So, one is everything's been unemployment rate 3.9%, non-farm employment change 150, average hourly earnings 0.2, 5.7, Canada. So not great news for
Oh yeah, you saw your Canada employment rate?
yeah.
Yeah.
Employment change is 17%. That was
17,000.
Yeah, 17.5.
Unemployment rate 5.7.
Yeah, 10 o'clock is ISM service PMI now, hey? That's firing off in the next 4 minutes and 54 seconds. And then we're done for the news for the day.
For the week.
Well, for the week, yeah. I'm just looking ahead to the next week. We've got Thursday. Thursday's is the heaviest news for the overall markets: U.S., Euro, Aussie dollar. We don't have anything that really, except for unemployment claims on Thursday. U.S. is, you guys are low on news next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be slow. All we have is Thursday and Friday news next week. Wow.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to say you guys
That's
are
it. Wow.
licking your wounds from this week, maybe.
Wow. Yeah, I'm licking my wounds from my Amazon puts.
Oh, did you do Amazon puts?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
remember
right. You were
I
mentioning
showed that
yesterday.
weekly
Yeah.
bearish order block, and now we're above that weekly bearish order block now.
Did you close out, or are you still in it?
No, I'm just gonna ride it out because let me see when they expire.
Let me have a look at Amazon here.
They expire 17 November. So
Amazon.
2 weeks.
And you've got puts on this?
Yeah, I got puts on it. If you just look at the daily chart, it looks like we just retraced into a bearish breaker.
On the Amazon?
Yeah, on Amazon. Oh yeah, you can see the bearish breaker. Now it's like an inverse. Now it's like breakers on each side. There's a bearish breaker, and now there's a bullish breaker because we swept lows before sweeping this high. And then there it is right there. That's the high. And then we went under that swing low, creating a, yep, that's where, so that candle right there is where I got in my puts on that.
Off right here? Or down here?
Down, yeah. Yeah, at the break of the high and
Yeah.
a little bit up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought the puts yesterday, or no, like 2 days ago actually. I think as soon as we broke the highs,
Right.
entering the breaker. It's all good. I mean, I'll cut it if we break highs,
Right.
daily highs, but the cons will probably be useless by then.
Yeah, keep your eye on that area there, and then that breaker here for sure, yeah. That may hold price. We'll see what that's like there. That holds price if you get on top of that, and then get into this with the midpoint of that threshold breaker. Mind you, got some imbalance up there. Did you see that video I sent you? Or that reference to that video?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Which video?
That I referenced that video Michael was talking about when a breaker forms and when the fair value gap, or when you can trade a fair value gap, because we were getting a bit of a discussion yesterday about, where the hell did I, oh, right there.
Oh, I see it. Deep dive into the institutional order flow video at time frame 2155.
Yeah, like review that and you'll see what a breaker, how he defines what a breaker is. And then I think the discussion you and I were having is when to trade the breaker, when you could trade it. But when an actual breaker forms is when it's the last down close candle before a run above a hold high. It doesn't have to come back below it, then trade to it. You're talking about how to trade to it, which is perfectly legitimate, which is absolutely right. But a breaker can form like the last down close candle that runs above these highs is your breaker. It doesn't have to.
I got you.
It doesn't. It doesn't have to go all the way down and come back. That is, you're absolutely right. That is how you trade it. But a breaker forms when you get that last down close candle that runs above an old high, and that's what he was talking about in that.
For me, a last down close candle before a high was taken out, if that last down close candle didn't sweep liquidity, I wouldn't call it a breaker. I would just call it a.
Yeah, if it doesn't sweep above, like, where's this?
No, like the last down close candle before a move up. If that down close candle or that move down didn't sweep liquidity, I wouldn't call it a breaker. I'd just call it a bearish, bullish order block. It's the last down close candle before a move up. It's
Right.
just a bullish order block. I only say breaker if the second leg sweeps liquidity before the third leg breaks out.
Right.
The high or the low. That's it. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to watch that one.
Yeah, I just put it right. This is the one I'm talking about. It's right here. He'll talk about it right there.
In terms of resistance, than a mitigation block. Were not small moves; they were rather large. And
Can you hear what he's saying here?
No.
Oh, okay.
here,
Yeah, he'll talk about right here.
bearish breakers are much more stronger.
And does he say that's a breaker, or
No,
says
he says
that's
this
just
is a mitigation block here because it
Yeah.
does not break that old high. He says it would
Yep.
be a breaker. If it breaks this high,
Yep.
then that becomes a breaker. How to trade
Yep.
back to the breaker is this would be a trade to get short if you came back to it, especially here. If you went down below it, came back up to it, that would be a breaker you could get short on. So, but just the definition of a breaker is that last down close candle. If this here ran that high,
Yep.
that makes that a breaker. Not
Yep.
when it goes up, comes down, comes back, then it's a breaker. It's just a breaker you
Yep.
can trade to. But that by itself, it has to break that high in order for it to
Yep.
be a breaker. So I
Yeah.
think that was the discussion we were having. It was like, yes, you're right.
Exactly,
When
yeah.
you trade back to it, it's definitely a breaker you can get short on. But it's a breaker long before it broke that low, right? It broke that high. That's when it becomes by definition a breaker. When it breaks that guy there to the
Yep.
upside, we can trade it when
Yeah.
it comes back to it. So I
Yeah,
think
so
we
since
were
it
saying
didn't
the
take
same
the
thing.
highs, yeah, since that didn't take highs, it's mitigation block or just bearish order block.
Yeah, if it doesn't take that high out, then it's definitely not. It's a mitigation versus a breaker for sure. So I think we were saying the same thing. It was just how and when we traded to it, not versus when it actually forms and when it's defined as a breaker. Anyway, it's just a minor thing, but I wanted to make sure that we were kind of clear on that part.
In terms of resistance,
Yeah, I just I'll only trade it if the liquidity got swept, because if it didn't, what it tells me is that breaker or that mitigation block might not hold. We might still be in a bullish trend, and we might want to go take the highs out since we never took the highs out before the move down.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna short the open this morning, but I don't know. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been a nice trade, I think. Nah. Like as soon as we started pumping at 9:30, 9:31, I wanted to short it. And
yeah.
the only one that worked out would have been Dow, but ES just kept pumping up.
Yeah, you see the these guys already broke out of their monthly fair value gap high in tech, and the S&P hasn't broken out of its high yet. So tech ran the high. This guy hasn't. Dow Jones doesn't even have a high yet. They're still looking for a run above this hold high here. So I like this full close of this. And then I'd like to see this kind of hit that, come off of here. And then Monday, Tuesday, create the fair value gap, bounce off of this here and keep driving up higher for these equal highs. And break market structure to the upside now.
Yeah, keep moving up. We're going to be creating a bullish breaker here. Long term, like like that. The swing high to our left, like that high. If we break that, and
yes. And we got a whole new candy town up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this support off this new week opening gap here too, and this little daily fair value gap. If we get on top of that, that'll be a nice little support leg to run up. We got to get through this guy here though.
Oh, okay, hold on, I missed it. NASDAQ market structure shift under a new week opening gap. What is that wick at? Oh, at 10 o'clock. This is 10 o'clock news. So now we drive lower. Yeah, so that 10 o'clock news sent us straight up. What it swept on the higher time frame or institutional levels, but then after 10 o'clock, it's just been going down.
We'll see how that reacts off these new week opening gaps here. Nobody's coming out for non-farm payroll today. What's the S&P doing? Same thing, hey?
All right, this is high of month. Just kidding.
Wouldn't that be funny if we look back in December 1st and would say, you remember, I still got that recorded. Remember when you said that was the high of the month? That would have been a nice trade at 525 this morning.
Oh yeah. All the best moves are when people are sleeping.
Yeah, right back to that weekly. What is that, a weekly? Hourly? Oh, that was a weekly fair value gap, I think. No, definitely not weekly. This is the thing, you're going to keep jumping daily. It was the daily. Yeah, it's off the daily. Wasn't a lot of crazy whipsawing going on for the non-farm payroll release.
Of course.
There wasn't much going on there at all.
Oh, for the non-farm payroll release?
Yeah, well, you expect to see a lot more whipsaw than that.
They just shot it straight up.
Mm-hmm.
It shot Euro USD straight into the monthly fair value gap.
Mm-hmm.
Right at 830.
I love that it's cleaned out these highs here now. Blown all the way through this. Or into the rejection block, or into the price imbalance here. That breaker.
We gotta close above that high body.
Yeah, I'd like to see it close above, at least above the threshold here. Because I'd like to see it come back down, tag this old high, or at least that fair value gap becomes inversion now, and I'd like to see that stay open and start running up.
I was doing some swing projections on Euro USD, and oh man, she is clean.
Yeah, there's a lot of just takes out that high.
I would like the dollar's about to break out of it's like the 0900 AM range, and if it does, then we can see a continuation on the downside for Nasdaq and SPY, I think. Came all the way down and hit a daily fair value gap on the dollar, and now we've just bounced off of it. Strong bounce off of it. And yeah, we just closed above the highs and opened above the highs. Okay, I like that.
Where's my... Oh yeah, okay. So we're getting some support off that week opening gap. Coming back to support. That comes back into right on that. Yeah, American dollar, the dollar came all the way back into that little price imbalance, swept the lows, tagged that little price imbalance on the daily, and then we're getting a reaction off of that now. So we'll see if this guy holds price.
You see that little fair value gap right there?
Yeah, I just see it right here.
No, the bearish one. The one before the move down, all the way up top.
Oh, up here.
Yep. I had a sell order in there. They better come back and get me in.
Right.
Yeah, that range from the high to the low. We never hit 50%. See if you did. Nope. Yes, blue passed 50% and is below now 50%, and Dow almost ran the highs. NASDAQ just showing weakness.
Yeah, it ran through his, hey? Oh, it's 50% there. Right off the body there.
I wanted Dixie to come back down to the daily imbalance we used and hit it one more time and leave it there. Leave from there, but don't retrace 50%. Less than 50% in that daily imbalance. That's what I'm looking for. And then if I see that, then I'll leave my short position there to see if I get filled at that 50% on NASDAQ.
Oh, yeah, I see.
What would be nice is if we get back up into that 50% around 1028, 1029, 1030, and then the reversal.
Yeah.
We'll see.
1035, 1036 always has a bit of a, between 1030 and 1036, there's always a bit of a flop around in there. That's what happens here. 10, 12, 17, 17. $27 now. We're still closing the midpoint of that. Nope.
Yeah, the dollar created a 15-minute BISI leaving that daily imbalance, so it should come back and hit it one more time. So we should see another run up on NASDAQ, yes. But, or no.
Yeah, I see you're saying there's a 15-minute BISI on
Dixie,
Dixie.
the dollar.
Oh, you mean it's creating one right now?
No, it created one at the 10 a.m. Candle.
At 10 a.m. candle.
On a 15-minute chart, yeah. There should be a BISI there.
Oh yeah, I got nothing on my one.
No BISI?
No,
Holy smokes.
that's the 10 a.m. candle right there. So,
Oh, no. I'm talking about,
15-minute Dixie.
yeah, but no, I'm talking 10 a.m. as in 26 minutes ago.
Oh, you mean this guy
That
here?
one.
Yeah, so it's
10 a.m.,
forming
yeah.
right now, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
3 more minutes until it closes.
right, okay.
So you can close in 3 minutes and then come back down and then leave it again. And there goes NASDAQ without me. I was targeting that low that it just went past.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I was off by 2 handles. I didn't get filled.
Oh, the worst when it comes to teas.
I'll send a picture of what I was looking at because I'm pretty sure this was the market telling me what's happening next. So on a 30-second chart, all I'm doing is every last down close candle before I move up that takes a high, I'll just draw the 50% of that bullish or bearish order block.
Mm-hmm.
And if we come in close under it, then I think it's like the market tipping its hand saying, hey.
So you get right in on that 50% when it comes back to it?
No, so it could have closed below 50% of that order block and then ran another high right there where I wanted to get in. That's permissible because that fair value gap is still there up there. But it just gives me confidence that this is showing weakness. Like we're going to come down, you know, once we close below a 50% of an order block. But an order block that started a move to take liquidity because NASDAQ did sweep highs, but it never got back into the fair value gap.
Right.
The fair value gap where I wanted to enter.
Mm-hmm.
It never got there, but we did sweep a swing high. So that's all it needed.
Oh yeah, you're looking at a 30-second chart. I'm like, oh, why don't I see that on my charts? It's because you're down another level below me here. Got it. Yeah.
The Dixie just ran up to a weekly inversion for value gap. And then bounced right off of it, coming down.
Yes. Yeah, just hit the bottom of that weekly. Do you have a price imbalance down there?
Where?
On the weekly in the Dixie?
Yeah. Yep, it just hit it.
Yeah. Yours just hit the top of it, or it ran all the way through to the bottom of it?
It ran all the way through it at like 8:30 in the morning, like 2 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then just came back up and touched it for the inverse as a resistance.
Right.
But I think that this is going to get inversed again. We're going to come above it to fill in the imbalance.
That's interesting because the daily one hasn't been filled yet.
My daily has been filled.
It has.
All the way. Yeah, I ran through, left it, used it as support. Well, I didn't leave it, then use it as support, but I used it as support once coming through it, and then left out of it. And then we haven't touched it yet. I think we're going to touch it one more time and then go. But on a higher time frame for the Dixie, I have a bullish breaker. Maybe it's on the 4-hour. Yeah, you can see it on the 1 hour chart actually. So it's the high that was created on 20 September 2023 on the Dixie. There's a nice breaker there.
On the daily?
Yeah, hourly. It's hard to see it on the daily. Or you can do the 4-hour chart. Yeah, 4-hour chart's cleaner. You can see a breaker with displacement through that breaker.
And that's on what day?
It was the high of 20 September 2023.
20 September.
I sent it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, my 20 September doesn't have any, they're all bull candles. That one is a high open 79, close 78, so that's a bear candle. Yeah, I guess that would be the high.
Wait a minute. Is this the silver bullet right here on our NASDAQ SPY? Because you know how we just had that sweep down? There is a breaker in there. On the 1 minute. High, low, higher, high, leaves it, and we have retraced into it.
Mm-hmm.
During the 10 o'clock hour. Well, if it continues moving down, then yeah.
I'd like to see that, like you said, I'd like to see it come back into that little fair value gap there, that 50%.
Yeah.
That would be a nice little quick pop up in here.
Super tight stop loss at the top of that word block.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, right there. You don't even have to risk the highs. Just
Right.
risk the word block.
Yeah.
But right now, Dixie's being held up by a 5-minute inversion for value gap. And it does not want to leave it to come down and hit that daily again.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it's a little too clean on a Dixie. It's quadruple equal lows inside of a fair value gap, and it's about to take out the quadruple equal lows
Yeah.
on the 1 minute. And that should bring us right into that daily imbalance for a bouncy bounce.
Do you have a little tiny BISI below that on yours?
Yeah. That's the BISI I'm talking about. It's the BISI that it's leaving the daily imbalance on my chart. There's a BISI created on a 1 minute chart as well.
Right.
Right under those relative equal lows that we just took.
Just took them now, yeah.
Yeah, so now we're in that BISI. So that previous range we created, the downward move from the high of 9:14 in the morning to the low of 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I would like to see a retrace to 50% of that. I'll show you what that looks like. And then, as long as we get in there, hit that 50%, but don't go below the daily inversion. Fair value get 50%, I'm still bullish dollar.
Oh, so you want it to stay above that?
I want it to stay, so that 50% downward move is permissible, but I want it to stay above the daily inversion for value gap.
Got you.
And it's all inside that BISI, so it's all permissible. That other gray box you see that we spent a little bit of time in, that's unlabeled, that was the 5 minute inversion for value gap.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I got NASDAQ just created equal highs off a new week opening gap. Do you see that?
NASDAQ made on the weekly?
No, on the 1 minute. It created equal highs coming off a new week opening gap.
On the 1 minute.
Yeah. Triple equal highs. Is that your NASDAQ 1 minute?
NASDAQ 1 minute, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was ES.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see anything of what you're saying there.
Oh, look. Your ES did not create equal highs. It took the high right there.
Yeah.
Yep. So and look, that's a breaker, but it didn't close above it.
Yeah, and it filled that fair value gap to the pip.
Yeah. Even if it did close above it, I wouldn't count it as a bullish breaker, because I think it's just kind of go up there and rebalance price before moving down lower. And that swing that took that low, yeah, I wouldn't say that's a significant low that was taken.
And you see what kind of reaction you get off of that. I want to see a body get above this candle if it was going to go bullish. See a big body come up there, then back to it.
Even if we did get a body close above it, I wouldn't say, oh, we're bullish now. Because there's got to be there's got to be a reason why we're taking that high or why we closed above, and the only reason is just to fill the voids.
Right. Yeah, those are just the short-term objectives, right? Depends
Yeah,
on how much
exactly.
you want to grab out of there for how many handles.
It's like the difference between liquidity being taken and a break of structure.
Exactly, yeah. Agreed.
That's the part that confuses a lot of people. Is they don't understand if we just did a market structure break or we're just taking liquidity. The only way you get the answer to that question is higher time frame narrative. Oh wow, on my chart, the 15-minute BISI on the Dixie, 50% of that gap is the top of the daily fair value gap to the cent.
Oh, it is, eh?
Yeah.
That's when you get short on the S&P. Is that what you're doing?
NASDAQ.
Oh, you're NASDAQ.
You got your new week opening gaps on your chart?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, those are those lines?
Yeah.
The 50% of the high to the low that we just created, just like this whole morning range, 10 a.m. to
Yeah,
10:20, 50%. See if it lines up with one of the new week opening gaps. No. Mine does. On the...
It might be a further one back that I haven't...
It's from 10:15.
No, the new week opening gap, I'm saying. Where's that? Which one is that based off of? How many weeks ago?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the 10:15. October
10/15 October.
Okay, Dixie just hit the top of that daily fair value gap and the 50% of the 15-minute BISI. And it's going lower. That'd be cool if the program, like, once you hovered over the line, it would tell you which date that new week opening gap was for.
Yeah, I have to write them in there. Like if I double click on mine, you can
Oh, you can edit it.
you can write it in here and say
Okay.
what week that was on. Swing high formed, S&P 500.
Come on. This better not be the move down.
Oh. Closed on that. Open on that, come back up. We're still in the whole discount range. Since we actually made this range,
Yeah.
we're still in the discount, so we gotta have one more run up
Yep.
to a premium before you leave that range. Because that swing is not the leg, I think. God damn it. Got some equal highs here now.
No. Dow just broke down to the lows and ES as well. Nasdaq's the only one holding up here.
Yeah, this one's coming right off that weekly. I wanted to see it pop up in there and create another. On my pre-analysis, I was looking for this to kind of run up, make some three equal highs, then pull down. Usually you get it, it'll hover below these equal, especially on a Friday, it tends to hover below and then drive back up in the following week. So I'd like to see that just kind of, it would be nice to see that come up right to the very bottom of that and tag it before pulling back into the range. But
yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of non-organic price action right now.
This is just short of the daily as well version.
There was a nice trade off Nasdaq. It created a 5-minute SIBI at 10 a.m. right when news dropped, and then we retraced right into that 5-minute SIBI at 10:15, 10:20 before this whole leg down.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. And if you look on a 1-minute chart, swing low was taken, so there was a market structure shift.
Yeah, okay.
When that 5-minute CB got created.
All the bodies are respecting the midpoint of that 1-minute inversion.
I see that. Yeah. It's so weird. Like on TradingView, you can click a drawing, and then on the keyboard you can just press delete, and it deletes the drawing.
Oh yeah.
For whatever reason, my main monitor, it works perfect. All these charts, I can press delete on any drawing, it deletes. On my left monitor, where my orders are, where I actually put the orders in,
Right.
the delete button doesn't work on this monitor or this side of the computer. I don't know. And even if I refresh the page, it still doesn't work. So it's not like a Chrome defect.
Oh really?
It's weird. I gotta figure that out. Oh, now it works. As soon as I refreshed again.
I can't wait to try and convert over to this. This is going to be crazy because I've used MT5 for 5 or 7 years now. So
yeah.
To switch over to TradingView is going to be quite the little.
I'll be here to help you out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. We'll go through it together.
I like the idea of having multiple charts on one screen.
There we go. Push up. Yeah. It's nice. So the Dixie went below that 50% of the daily fair value gap.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hold now at this point. I just don't want it to go below it, close below that daily fair value gap. The way the indexes were working, like that, we never retraced 50%. This is kind of permissible, like the Dixie coming all the way down here.
Right.
Just the way it's unfolded itself.
I'd still like to see that get up into that.
On the Dow?
Yeah, and right here, if you look at this daily.
It's a daily inversion.
Yeah, I'd like to see it come back to that. It's just short of it, so that kind of flies in the face of what we want to do, though, if we want to go down.
That daily inversion is created on 2 June, correct?
August 28th was that low. Yeah, August 28th is the high of the
Oh, okay. I see it.
that high candle there. So we're not quite back to it yet, but we also have this little pocket sitting right in here. This one here. We have this one here.
Oh yeah, on my chart it's completely different.
Yeah.
We're inside of the daily inversion for Valley Gap created from 2 June. It's pretty much like almost the lows after 25 May.
2 June.
Yeah, that one right there. That's where. So on my chart, we're inside that right now.
Oh, really? Wow, we're way out of that on mine, hey? Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. Wow. Yeah, there's a little price imbalance there, right on top of that monthly fair value. Yeah. We have one little fair value gap here on September 10th. Or October 10th.
NASDAQ hit that gap. So it put me in short.
Are you a short there?
Yeah, it went above those
swing right
highs
there.
into the gap.
Yeah,
Yep.
gotcha.
So I got triggered in. So stop loss above the bearish order block. But yeah. Yeah, we're above 50% of the whole range created already this morning. That's where I want to be shorting, not under it. I was watching this guy on YouTube trading live, and he literally, every time he goes into the marketplace, he sets an order for 10 ticks high, 10 ticks low on the NASDAQ, 2.5 handles on a 15-second chart.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, yeah, and then he'll do like 2 contracts, and then 4 contracts, and then if he loses, he'll do 2 again. And you see this guy making 220 bucks in like seconds, and then you see him making 440 bucks in seconds, and then you see him losing it in seconds. And I'm watching this guy, and I'm like, bro, this is so funny to watch, but like, there's no way he's gonna be able to stabilize himself like forever doing this.
Oh yeah, you'd have a meltdown before that. You'd pop a brain cell for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Dixie did go to the daily imbalance all the way to the bottom. It's bouncing off of it, but on my chart, we did close above it for 1 minute and then bounced off of it. Do you see that? Did it close below it on yours, on your chart?
The price imbalance? Not yet, no. Like this is my one here. There's that price imbalance right here, and we have.
Oh, okay.
We haven't even closed. We haven't even closed this gap here. We're just short of closing that gap out. You got a lot of equal lows down here. You get support off of this guy here.
Yeah, I can see NASDAQ running up to hit those order blocks because ES and Dow, they already hit those same order blocks that was created at the 10 a.m. news. But NASDAQ had never hit the order block again, so.
Well, this one here, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Never touched it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Yeah.
I got my stop loss and take profit there just in case any
Good.
wildry happens. On my chart, the range created this morning on ES, we just hit 50% to the tick and bouncing off of it.
Yeah, you have to show me how you, because you measure your ranges and stuff. I love that. I'm fascinated by how you measure your ranges. So when you get back, show me what you're doing there.
Okay, I got you. I'll be right back. I just started sharing my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yeah. Hang on a second. I just get back to the call. There we go.
This is that range I was talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
10 a.m. high
Yeah.
to the 10:54 a.m. low, and then I was like, oh, it's bouncing right off 50% right now, and then I went to the bathroom right here. Ever since then, boom.
Nice.
Nasdaq's following suit, and it took a high, and it took a high into a fair value gap.
All perfect. Yeah. Nice.
This is how my dollar chart is looking. We just left this consolidation, but this is the daily fair value gap right here.
Okay, I got you. So you want that daily fair value gap to hold price? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I want it to hold price because we have this imbalance that we need to come back and fill.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my daily fair value gap? Just disappeared. Refresh. What? For whatever reason, the coordinates got moved. But now it's back. Oh, no, it didn't hold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why we're seeing this bounce now. But this wick I will measure.
Yeah. Look for 25% of that wick if it's got weakness, and you want to see it's not going to drive through that. Then you don't want to blow the 25% of that, right? You want to see that 25% hold.
I would say 50. I want to see 50 hold. Yeah, every single range I'll measure, and then I like to measure the 5-minute order blocks. This order block right here that took this liquidity. Just measure the whole thing.
If you pull it down to the bottom of that wick, you'll probably get your 50%. It'll probably increase your 50%. You got the top wick. Yeah, pull it down to the bottom wick.
This is the order block right here. This is the 5-minute order block.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So once we broke down right here, out of the 5-minute order block, we could have looked for an entrance at the 50%, but
right.
It doesn't have to be 50% exactly.
Just take your bottom of your thing there and go to the wick. No, just come up a bit to the bottom of that there, right there. There's your 50%.
There it is.
If you go wick to the top. Oh yeah, you're looking at up there. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I think I'm just looking at the bullish candles there. If you just took wick to wick, bottom to the top. That one there, yeah. Now go to the, no, just leave that one there. Just go to the top one and pull that down to the wick right there. Yeah, there's your 50% hit.
Yeah.
And then if you pull the bodies, just out of curiosity, just track the body there instead of the wick. Just do the bodies. Yeah, there and 50% smacks you right on the money.
I think it was like 1 cent off, but yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it is right on the money.
Yeah,
it's
right
so close that it doesn't look like it's touching, but it is.
Oh yeah.
81, because if I go like this and it says 381 and it stays 381, then
That's close enough for government work, man. I
Yep.
don't know much more precise you can get than that.
yeah, the high of this is 381. Yep, the 50%. Oh, the 50% is 382. Yeah, I mean,
1 penny.
1 cent off. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we are. Oh no, we're not at 50% yet. We just hit 25% of this wick.
Yeah, usually you'll say if it's got weakness like 25%, if it stays off of 25% and just starts going back up again, then it didn't have the drive to go down. And then your 50%, you want that's your like line in the sand.
Yeah.
And then but you really want to see it hover at 25. If you want your strength, then you want to see that just pop back up over 25, but your line in the sand is your 50.
You know what? I'm gonna use. So this was the 1 minute premium wick. These quarters ranges.
Yeah.
But on a 15-minute chart,
Oh yeah, what would that look like?
it looks like this. We're at 50 right now.
Oh, right at 50, yeah.
On a 15-minute, which I'd rather just have the 15-minute
Mhm.
premium wick, not the 1 minute.
All right.
So we'll see. I don't like this. ES is using this new week opening gap right now as support. It's fine though. I'm not seeing any imbalances here. There is one here, but we already filled it.
That's for ES.
Yeah, this is ES 30-second. So that's the imbalance versus the order block.
You and your 30 seconds. Well, I can get down inside my 1 minute. There is a check your 921 candle and 916 or 919 and 921 and tell me if there's a little imbalance there or a little little sibby.
No, those are both it's just a little consolidation range right here.
Oh, sorry. On the
1020?
I'm just looking at my one is 1621, so that would be 8. Sorry, you're 819. Why is that going down even further?
819 is all the way.
No, I'm looking
here.
at that. I'm trying to. Maybe it's a different number for you. I'm looking
Is it,
at my candle shows the that one, that little range you were just inside there. No, it doesn't look like. Yeah, go to 10. Maybe it's the 10. You're 1019 to 1021. For me there's a little tiny one in there that hasn't been filled yet. That order block you got right there. See that order block at 10 something. Let me have a look at my one.
1021, yeah.
Yeah, 1021. The top of that 1021 and the bottom of the previous wick, there was something in there, but yours is actually ran it. on the
Yeah,
next
let me see what
on the
the
next
30-second
candle.
chart looks like. Yeah, no imbalance in the 30-second either, or there was one on the 15-second, but we rebalanced it right away.
Yeah, yours rebalanced. Mine is still sitting there, just a tad bit open. What if I got a high on that order block candle of 57.28 and the low on that one of 57.38. So there's 10 pipettes space in there still.
So ES is respecting that 50% range. Let me go back to a 30-second, like 15-second. And it's respecting the 50% of the range, but NASDAQ just started respecting it. Okay, good. Went above it for a little bit. This is a 1 minute AC right here.
Mm-hmm.
See, I wouldn't qualify this as a breaker,
Which one? That one?
this one, because, you know, yeah, this low got taken out, for sure. But it's not a significant low because this low didn't take out this low and this low still did. So it's just higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows.
Right.
It's just not significant. This is only 30 seconds, so on a 1 minute. Yeah, I would like at least like a longer term low taken out. So low, high, lower, low, we leave it, and then look what happens when we come back into it. It just cuts right through it. It was supposed to hold right here, but it didn't.
That's right. Yep, totally agree. But it came all the way down to the breaker on the bottom half. You see how that breaker, the one you're just, it's inside that BISI that you're looking at there, the last down close candle before that run up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're back to that breaker and then retrace off of it, right?
Yep. Yeah, this order block held price. This down close candle.
Right to 25% of it.
Right to 25% of the order block, yeah. So I really think that in the future, like, I'm gonna be an order block trader. I just love order blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, if you just set a limit order here for 2 to 1, right at the 25%,
Yeah.
and you risk, and this is your risk, the 75% of the order block, and let's say you get stopped out, and all you need is 2 to 1. So let's see, boom, this would have been the trade. So we would have got in there, and then that's it. Like in one, this
One
is 30
candle.
seconds. In one, yeah.
Yeah,
So in 1 minute, you would have got profit. That's it.
That's what you would have been
And-
like that guy, man. Like $200 out, then $400 in.
Nah, but this is actually 12 handles. This guy is only going
Oh,
for
that's-
2.5 handles.
Oh my God. Okay, 12 handles. You would have been watching him stress out for 6 times, smoking cigarettes, drinking beer.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so let's say we do get stopped out in this trade. What does that mean? It means now we have a trade setting up for us bearishly, so we can still use this
Right.
same order block, but as an inversion.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, and even if you traded back to the higher order block up high, if that was set, like if you look at the range there that was just created, that it came down, yeah, right from there, pull that all the way down, that order block, you trade right up to 25% of that order block, you're
Here it is again.
right
yeah.
again. Yeah.
Right here.
So bang.
Short, boom, risk disc, 4.5 handle stop to target 9 handles. And oh, did it get hit? Like right here? Yeah, I did.
It did.
Boom, boom, easy.
Yep.
Yeah, so I like this. I don't know. I like order blocks, and I like them because if they fail, then you still have another setup
Right. Right.
because it's the market telling you something. This big old box needs to go. I think it's like the regular trading hours gap.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I like it because it shows the 9:30 a.m. opening price, but sometimes like we respect it, sometimes we don't. Yeah, I already took them off all my charts. So this is a inversion we're in right here on the Dow. Just hit this inversion. This is a whole indicator right here. So I have it SMTing with ES, but if I wanted to SMT with NQ, I just type in NQ here. I can type in Apple, and every time Apple makes a higher high and Dow doesn't, it'll tell me automatically right here.
You created that one?
No. This is just a SMT divergence indicator that's built inside of TradingView.
Oh, no way. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I've got to really start working on my SMT because it's not something I look at all the time. I'm right inside a range trading high to low and order block to order block, PD array to PD array, 50% or higher. And I'm like super scalp. So
Yeah,
I'd love to get into the understanding that SMT more clearly. I've let that thing slide for sure.
Yeah, look at what happens every time we SMT with ES. So this is saying at this moment, ES swept these highs.
Right.
Look what happens. I move down. At this moment, ES has swept the highs. What happens next? Do we break it? No, I move down. At this moment, ES swept the highs. What happens? Do we break above it? No. So like.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing now.
For scalpers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. So if liquidity has been ran in the ES market, then it's likely that was just a raid, and we're gonna have a little move down.
I like that.
This was the original position I wanted to get filled right here.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, I would have got taken out in profit. But they didn't want to give it to me. This is when I was like, oh, is this the silver bullet? Yep.
That silver bullet was right there off that. You should come down that first fair value gap you see created, and then it popped up into the very next like come over, yeah, just to right of your, right there, it just popped up in there, one little tippy right on the,
oh, right here,
yeah, right there, that's your entry.
Yep. This is 30 seconds, so let's see what a 1 minute looks like.
1 minute wouldn't have given it to you.
No, 1 minute would not have given it to you.
That's why you that little 30-second chart's a doozer.
Actually, 1 minute would have gave it to you right here.
Yeah, but late. Let's see how late that is.
Late.
You still
late.
You wouldn't have collected the lion's share of that run because you're only just come back inside that breaker again, right?
Yep.
And then we were reacting off that breaker and going higher. Now you're right off the other one above it. So we're banging into that. Now you're coming back down. So we're running out of PD arrays right now. So it's got to start to expand. Up or down, make up your mind where you want to go.
It just broke below 50% right here, and yeah, it's gonna give it up, I think. Yeah. And look at this, like this is the 30-second order block that we measured, and look what it looks like on a 1 minute. It's just it's nothing.
Right.
But you can see the body's respecting that 25%.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the 30-second order block. Of course. Push right back above 50%.
Yeah.
What is ES doing?
Well, I'm looking at that order block threshold. We've just blown through the threshold on the 1 minute at is that 10:11:05 your time, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right
there's
here, this one.
Yeah, we just already blew through that one. Big time.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're running up. So we might even get my objective for the day. I'm looking for that higher NASDAQ and tech just to finish off of those daily fair value gaps. I'm still looking for those to fill. Mind you, tech has got that little tiny itty bitty imbalance up top there on my chart. We also have the breaker up top there sitting at 50.
All my imbalances are on this chart. Let me see what you're talking about. On the NASDAQ, right?
Yeah, NASDAQ, I'm looking for the last up close candle, which would be the daily, the 11th, the bottom of that candle.
So the bottom of the 11th is the top of the monthly fair value gap, inversion fair value gap for
There
me.
you go. Yeah. So we're looking for that to finish up for the day right there.
So you think we go up another 120 points?
That would be nice. But maybe not.
With
Well, even the order block that we're just coming into now at on the 16th, if we even hit the threshold of that, which is not too far away from where we're at right now.
See that.
If we hit the threshold of that order block, then if we take that out, then I can see that run into the low or the high of the monthly. What's the weekly look like? Oh, weekly, yeah, the weekly is 15,179. Let me make that bigger. Yeah, it's about 80 more. That's 80. 160. So we have about 88 more. Yeah, 88 more handles to go. That'd be a big run for the day, though.
I just measured this 5-minute BISI on NASDAQ. And literally hit it to the quarter percentage.
Mm-hmm.
This is right here, the 5-minute balance.
Well, look at that, hey?
So market tipping its hand. Leave it right there. Put this in my brain. Let's do some projections. So check this out. This is the low that was taken.
Yep.
For us to come back into the 5-minute BISI, and that we respected it to the tick, the quarter percent.
Yep.
So all I did was, how am I here? Oh, I got stopped out.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even hit 4 yet. Yeah, that should be the reaction. Gotta measure this order block. The one that stopped me out.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
You just do some price projections?
Yeah. We're still respecting that order block. The 10 a.m. news order block.
Hmm.
What's this buy side liquidity from? Oh yeah. It was old buy side. Can't believe I got stopped out at the high. Wow.
Is that where your stop loss was? Sitting right at the high?
It was sitting at the top 25% of this order block.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just bouncing off the rejection block right now on the 1 minute. It hit the rejection block and it's just coming down to the threshold of that order block, and it's just banging around inside it right now, between the threshold and the high, or the rejection block. I like to see it just dip down into that fair value gap again on the 1 minute. Maybe touch those equal highs. And leave a little piece open and then start running back up again.
You look at ES. Oh, this order block is holding price down.
Mm-hmm.
This is a I think this is a significant bullish order block right here. It's pretty hefty. And we haven't touched it yet. I think I'm gonna call, and that trade was paper trade too. I wanna let you know.
Good, yeah. Non-farm payroll, man. Just
Oh yeah.
play with paper.
Yep. But it felt like real. So
I feel the sting.
that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as you can start feeling like, I don't know, it's bad habits if you just trade paper. I mean, I created that bad habit. I had to get rid of it. Just paper trading and like seeing, you know how when you're first starting, you're just paper trading, you're just seeing.
Yeah.
But if there's no emotion behind the paper trade, then it's just completely useless. Forgot to look at the Dixie. Ooh, Dixie ran its lows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's weird.
Yeah, Dixie's, for me, it's just moving into that imbalance that I was talking about earlier on the daily. It's driving down for that to fill. Now, if that finishes off there today, that could end up pushing my S&P to the top of the That would finish off the top of the daily or the monthly fair value gap. If we push the rest of that way. And that would be the bottom of the daily fair value gap on the tech Dow Jones. That would come up and finish off the rest of my weekly. Yeah, that would be my calls for the day. Yeah.
I think this is manual intervention.
Yeah, I want to see this the Dow Jones hold on that. It's just about to hit that now. I like to see that hold and not break those equal highs today. I like to see that just freeze on there and come back into the range in the afternoon. And then next week, create a fair value gap Monday, low on Tuesday, and then push right back through that on Wednesday. Then take the highs out. Or Tuesday, I should say. Tuesday would be the, no. Tuesday could be the low, entering into the fair value gap and then start running up.
I'm seeing a bullish market structure shift on Dixie right now. As this candle closed above this high, lower low, and this low took out a very significant low.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're seeing
Right
a break
here.
in structure to the upside. I see what you're saying.
Right there, yeah. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they just ran. I mean, well, we know we still have this, well, it was like that micro right here. This order block never got touched. The 1 minute, there's a big old 1 minute bullish order block at 11:29 on ES.
I've lost your chart now. There it is. Yeah.
At the same time, this order block lines up exactly with 50% of the whole range, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means we don't need to come back into it, or if it's likely to come back into it for breaking out the highs. Like, why would it break out these highs without having to come down to 50% of this range first? Like, yeah, we bounced around down here below 50%, hit the 50%, you know, broke out of 50%.
And then just came back to those old highs. Did those old highs line up? Yeah. It just
To
came
the
back.
tick.
It just came back and tagged the high there, and didn't quite give you your 50%, but it just tagged the high there, and then left.
This order block not being touched, this is liquidity. They're building it. For us to come back and touch it. Not now. I mean, it doesn't have to be now, but eventually. Okay, so the Dixie. Yeah, they didn't respect the breaker.
We're just coming into Dow Jones now. That little 1 week order block right there. I'm gonna put my line on that. Wait for that down at the 1 minute. See where we go. We're about to hit it. That'll be the weekly new week opening gap, or sorry, the weekly fair value gap low.
Inversion weekly?
Yeah.
Or just weekly? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the inversion. No, it's actually the weekly fair value gap. It's not an inversion. That's just coming to the top or the bottom of the weekly fair value gap. That's not inversion yet.
Okay, let's see what happens at this 4 standard deviation.
You just clipped it. Just short of it, unless I got my thing set wrong. Let me see where I've got that. What's that candle's high? That candle's high is 10925. 10925. 10925. 10925. Yep, that's it right there. So. Come on, there you go. There. That's my daily objective hit on that. This guy here, my daily objective is 15097. I'm going to put a line right there at 15097. There we go. There's that guy there. And then this guy is the top right there. That's still a ways up there for on the 1 minute.
So what I'm looking at on NASDAQ is just 79%. We're coming up to it on the whole range here in the daily time frame. Just got the fib drawn out from the high to the low and 79%.
And what do you have that? What do you have that marked at? I'm just wondering if that's the same as my high for the day. It's 1509. Mind you, yours will be different from mine.
Yeah.
Is it
but
right?
You got the
is it right on the
79%?
daily? Let me go pull that one on the 79% of that range. You said, hey.
Yeah, from the top of the range on 12 October to the bottom 26 October.
Right there. Yeah, it literally lines up.
What, we hit it already on your chart?
We've already hit over it, yeah.
On 79?
79% is right here. So 75, 79. So we're hitting it right now. Or we just hit it. And I think my one is the daily sitting right there. I'm just trying to get above the... Yeah, we're just above 79%. So you're just hitting 79 right now on my chart. And I think my objective is that inversion fair value gap on the daily now. And if we pop into it by the afternoon, then there's that breaker I was talking about earlier that we thought would get up to like 100 and somewhat more. That would be, I'm putting this guy here just for my reference. Right there. So that's the potential 15,126 upside. I like this, but if we reach for that, then we're just tipping the breaker, and then I don't know. I'm looking for maybe getting back into here next week for Monday, Tuesday, and continue on the upside. We'd have to lose that midpoint for. Mind you, that's a lot. That's your next to a new week opening gap above.
I can't do anything until I see some type of market structure shift. We're consolidating, expanding, consolidating, expanding.
Yeah.
Retracement, reversal.
So you can sure see how you can get beat up in this non-farm payroll day, hey?
Yeah.
Look at that really nice fill on the 15-minute expansion. All the way back into the order block, fair value gap fill. Ding, perfect. And then leave. Wow. That's nice. And that's price leg 1, price leg 2. So price leg 1, price leg 2. Body ends on it. Now this could be the interesting price leg. If I go here to here. Does that line up with anything that... Right on the new week opening gap. That's the next price leg up. Right on the gap. Wow.
Can you check your Euro USD? Though, see that chart should be the same with my chart, right? Forex.
Should be, yeah. Unless you got, this is where the whole dealer thing gets all kind of how you're.
Do you have the monthly fair value gap on the Euro USD chart?
The monthly, yeah, we're inside that right now for sure. Let me just put that right there to there. I have to put my colors in, otherwise it'll screw me up here. Whereas I need a pink color. I'm gonna call it salmon. Yeah, there's the monthly there. You're already we're already past the midpoint of it already.
On mine, we rejected right off midpoint and then went straight through midpoint on the Euro.
On the daily?
On the Euro monthly fair value gap?
Yeah, so...
Is that 50% the line?
50% is... let me have to put the 50% in here. See, we're already over 50% right there. We popped through it already.
Yep. I think our... You're in the 325s. I'm in the 338s for price right now.
338, 341, 342.
Oh yeah, I'm in 342 right now.
Yeah, 341, 342. Yeah, we're the same one.
Okay.
So, and you had your new week opening gap right here? Or is that new day opening gap? New week opening gap. We broke the high of the new week opening gap. Around 25% of that range. I bet you that's 25% there. Yeah. There's 25%. We're above that. We're above the 50 now.
Wow, where's this dollar going?
$1, make you holla. Where are you?
Dollar bill, yeah. Oh, I mean, it makes sense why it would be down here.
Mm-hmm.
Huge imbalance. H1.
Well, Dow Jones has cleared my objective, so what's going on with the... Yeah, I don't want to see those highs get taken out. So we talked about this in my pre-market thing. Come up to the daily highs or daily fair value gap low, and I want to see it hold there. Make triple highs, then come back, then pound through it. So I don't want to see that a wick up there, and that's it. That'll be the Dow Jones pop tech daily. Let me get rid of that candle, that thing there. Yeah, I just want to see it touch that. I think that's it for me for the day. I'm going to go out and take my brother out for a trip to one of the falls here and
Nice.
enjoy this some day. It's been a slice, man. Thanks very much for your thing, and I appreciate your inputs and your sharing your screen and all that, man. That's a lot of private stuff. A lot of people don't want to share that, and I appreciate you doing that. And I'll try and get into TradingView this week, so I'll be leaning on you pretty heavy on how to use it, because I'll be like a kid driving a car for the first time. I'm going to be grinding a lot of gears, so if you could help me out, that'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. We'll be here daily.
Sounds good. All right. Well, you have
All
an
right.
awesome weekend, my friend.
All right, Darren, you too.
You too. Take care. And folks, that's it for me. The ThetaWaveTrader, we're all done for this week, and I'll just quickly go through my charts here so you get an idea of what else I'm looking for. So we're back to this order block here. I'd like to see that just hold price here now. We've broken these highs. We have a break in market structure on GBP. We're out of this consolidation finally. So if we get back to this old high order block here, I'd like to see some retracement in there into here next week, and then continue to the upside. Euro, we're still inside that monthly fair value gap we were just talking about. Joseph and I were having a chat about. We still got the daily fair value gap above here, so yeah, we're still inside 25%. That daily fair value gap will put us 25% of that monthly fair value gap that we see here. CAD's back into that breaker. Are we going to get support off that? Are we going to eat through it? We're going to blast through that. I want to see these lows, all this give way here. This is a trend line phantom being broken. Okay, so when you see that break into the downside, this is where your trend lines fail. I want to see this whole trend line just give way if we're going to continue getting stronger on that. We're into this last down close candle before that run up. on the daily and the Japanese yen. So does this hold price, or do we lose that breaker and start running for these equal lows? My guess is we're coming down for equal lows. And I see these equal lows getting taken out. So look for that either today, later on this afternoon, or a pullback into this inversion fair value gap we've got here now. We're starting to climb through it. So I'd like to see this provide support to get down below these lows. So that would be your inversion fair value gap right there. Let me make that something that's more palatable on the eye. That's daily, so that'll be the daily fair value gap inversion. So we've come through it, back up, find support there. I'd like to see this midpoint hold here for the day, come back, find support off of this inversion fair value gap, and then continue down for the lows. Australian dollar, good for you guys, finally broke out above that consolidation. We were whacking around in here for a few days, so I'd like to see it. It's great that it broke through, came back, tagged it just beautifully, ran through this order block here. I want to see that now. We've run these highs out. We've run that high out now. So we have a break in structure. I want to see a fair value gap form in here and start running for further highs. So Monday, Tuesday next week, I think is going to be rather interesting. We're right into this breaker again. So are we going to close at or below this breaker, or are we going to finish off filling this daily fair value gap? If we don't fill it today to here, look for a return back to this weekly fair value gap. I don't want to see this break this high yet. If we come back into work inside here again, back to the top of the daily fair or weekly fair value gap, leave that open and then start running up higher for relative equal highs above the market here. Oil, still looking at this fair value gap weekly to either hold price and continue down into this lower prices on that. That's the gas, beautiful. This is doing exactly what we want it to do. Look at it, just hitting off these inversion fair value gaps, just lovely. Inside the fair value gap inversion, we wanted that to create an inversion. That is following our narrative to the letter, which is what I like to see. So next week I want to see it push into here. I'd like to have seen that this week, but that's fine. We've got support, drive, and I want to see that start to run up higher now. Look at that, right off that fair value gap weekly. Came back, tagged it, and we're off. I like it. Looking for old highs. What have I got in here? US 500. So I'm still looking for that this afternoon. Taking out this old high here. It's okay if it waffles around there and goes. I would like to, if it doesn't get it today, I still think it's going to reach that. We got the midpoint of that breaker right there. So we may just hit the midpoint of the breaker, kick off that, and just hang below here. But we're definitely driving for that high. The high of the fair value gap there. Daily, we're still looking for that guy to tag there. Upside objective. We're just so short. We're so dang close to that objective. We're probably going to run that out this next hour or so. As soon as I get off, it ends up running right up there. So we're going to see that right there. Dow Jones. Dow Jones is, that's what I want to see. Close below these guys right here. At or below those guys right there. And CAD. Are we going to get support off of this inversion fair value gap? Now we've closed on it, we've opened on it. Now I want to see that order block threshold hold, We're going to run for the old highs above the market, so I'm still bullish on that one. And gold, we're still inside the weekly there and the daily breaker. So we're kind of stuck with this guy in between these guys, so can't tell you much about where that's going to go right now. If this continues to provide support and we get on top of this weekly and daily, look for higher prices, obviously above these equal highs here, getting into this breaker up here. It's a parent breaker of this huge, of that run. Yeah. And if you're buying cars over in Japan, oh, we talked about that. Look for the threshold to hold here on that breaker. We took out a nice significant low. Run down. We're back into the breaker. So if you see the threshold hold here, look at this inversion fair value gap. We're inside this inversion fair value gap right here. So is that going to hold price, or are we going to drop down below it now? That's it for me for the weekend. I will see you guys again on Monday. Thanks so much for popping in. And like I say, it's a rough world out there. Be kind to each other. There's a lot of love to spread around instead of all this hate. So share the love. And if you're a little bit fortunate, you're making a little bit of money and you can you got some to spare, let's help out some of the less fortunate people out there. And don't buy into every little 1 minute reel that comes your way. Hold your opinion on other people's troubles in the world, because 1 minute reels are not there to give you accurate information. All they give you is an emotional soundbite to try and stimulate you to react in a certain way. Resist the urge, people. Find the good in things. And I wish you all the best for the weekend. Be safe and take care, and I'll see you on Monday. ThetaWaveTrader.